Hello there. In this video we are looking at the Honor 9X Pro. The device was recently launched in India and it is currently available at a price of 14,999, but Huawei also said that this is a launch offer and the price will be increased to 17,999. It is very unlikely that they will increase the prices, but let's see what happens in the future, so don't consider the pricing information as final. Let's take a look at the device itself. The device comes in a white themed box, comes with an internal storage of 256 GB, and there's also about 6 GB of RAM to run your routine tests. Other than that, it is worth mentioning that the device is made entirely in China. There's no parts or components which are procured from India, so that's something you should keep in mind if you are into the sentiment of not buying Chinese goods and services. So moving on, let's get inside the box itself. So when you take off the lid of the box, the first thing that you notice is the device itself. It is wrapped in a little plastic packaging. So let's keep the device aside for a while and let's take a look at what else is available in the box. The next thing that you find in the box is the small paper box, which includes your SIM ejector tool, some of the user manuals and certification information, and also a plastic packaging which includes a transparent case. So yes, a case is available out of the box, so you do not need to rush to buy a case as soon as you purchase the device. Next up, there is the USB cable, which is a Type-C type, and so yes, we are finally getting rid of the micro USB. And there is also a USB adapter, which is a 5 volts and 2 amp, which will give you maximum output of 10 watts. So the device does not support fast charging in the form of 18 watt or higher. That means that you will take like at least 2 to 3 hours to completely charge the device from 0 to 100. So now let's take a look at the device itself. The front and the back of the device are wrapped in a scratch resistant glass, so this is much like the typical and the standard setup these days of glass sandwich phone designs. Moving on, if we look at the left side of the device, we notice absolutely nothing. It is completely blank with no openings or holes. And if we move to the top, we notice the 16 megapixel motorized camera opening alongside the SIM card opening, which can house either 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and 1 micro SD card. There's also an opening for the secondary microphone. Next up, if we look at the right side of the device, we notice the volume rocker and also the fingerprint scanner. The fingerprint scanner is a physical button, and if you press it, it will work as a power button, and if you only tap on it, it will scan your fingerprint to unlock the device. And if we look at the bottom of the device, there are also 3 items resting here. The first one is the 3.5mm headphone jack, and alongside it is the microphone hole and USB Type-C port and speaker grill. So the backside of the device houses its cameras, which are a triple camera setup including a 48MP primary camera and coupled with a 8 megapixel wide angle lens and 2 megapixel lens for depth recognition. And there is also a dual tone LED flash. You will also notice the shiny gradient of the X from the Honor logo. The front of the device includes a 6.59 inches of IPS LCD display, which has an aspect ratio of 19.5:9, and there are very minimal bezels, and there's a small opening for the earpiece at the top. Other than that, there's nothing else on the front side of the device. It's mostly all display. So that's it for the physical overview of the device. Now let's turn on the device and take a look at the system UI. So as I mentioned earlier, the fingerprint scanner is built into the power button. If we press and hold this button, the device will power on. The device is powered by the Huawei's Emotion UI, which is built on top of Android 9.0. And the device is powered by Huawei's in-house Krin 810 CPU and coupled with 4000 milliamp of battery. This combination, at least on paper, looks very promising, as the Krin 810 built on 7nm process is supposed to deliver a very nice battery backup. So starting with the setup, there are a couple of license agreements and also the terms and conditions which you will need to agree to if you want to use the device. Like, you cannot just skip this, but you do have the choice to skip some of the additional options or integrated services which are built into Huawei's Emotion UI, but they are not enforced onto you. This includes the Wi-Fi plus weather service, location services, and a couple more, and you can either choose to like disable all of these, or you can also selectively enable some of them. I'm also not very interested in joining their user experience improvement program right now. And now comes the automatic system updates, and for this one I'm also sticking with the manual install. And here's the most critical part of the device setup, the data import option. If you are migrating from a different Android device or iPhone or iPad, you can restore most of the things from your previous device. So all you need to do is to install the phone clone app on your previous device, provide it with the necessary permissions, and then start with the data migration. It can bring a lot of data from your previous device, at least to make sure that you are good to get started with your brand new purchase. Anyhow, I'm skipping this one as well for now. So here's the Huawei's Emotion UI, and this is the home screen. The device comes with this single layer style of launcher out of the box, but in the system settings there is an option to change this to the dual layer style. So if you're coming from a different smartphone such as OnePlus, Google Pixel, Nokia, or pretty much any of the most common devices globally, you will need to change to the dual layer style, because you won't like the single layer style as included by default into this device. Let's jump into the settings of the device. If we look at the storage, the device comes with over 13 GB of storage used out of the box. Given that the device comes in a storage variant of 256 GB, I don't think there's anybody who is going to mind the preoccupied 13 GB out of the box. And the About Phone section gives us once again an idea of the specifications of the device. The device comes with Android 9, which is slightly modified given that the device runs Emotion UI, which is a custom UI built by Huawei. And there's 6 GB of RAM, 256 GB of internal storage, and out of the box the device comes with Android security patch of 1st of Jan 2020. I have so far not turned on the Wi-Fi, so I'm not sure if there's an update already available, but most likely an update will be available by now. And this is the camera application of the device. I will just take a quick photo which I will include at the end of the video, and to avoid an excessively long video I will also end the video right here. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the device. I will be very happy to answer you about that. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.